minute. Uh, Gaurav bhai, this is Dr. Mohammad Shakir. Have been given the duty to introduce you, although you do not need any introduction in this university. Uh, Actually, Asiman is okay. Let me introduce them. Oh, okay. Participants, we have with us a very renowned speaker of this university, Dr. Gaurav Varshney, sir. Uh, and he has completed his education from Aligarh Muslim University. Am I audible, Mazhar bhai? Uh, Gaurav bhai, my voice
Yes,
is
sir.
coming.
Audible.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes, yes.
I think most of the participants have joined. Yes. Okay. Okay. It's, and participants, you can see that he's on time. Whatever time was given, he was before time in the program. Gaurav sir has completed his LLM from Aligarh Muslim University and he's a gold medalist. He has also completed PhD from AMU and his in Islamic insurance. He has published 2 books and he has also published around more than 20 papers in various national and international journals. He has also presented around 40 research papers in various national and international conferences and seminars. He's having the experience of more than 15 years. I mean, he's also having corporate experience as well as the university's experience. I know him. And one of the things which I would like to share with participants that I have worked with him as one of his fellow wardens. So I share with him very personal and very good relations. So therefore, I can say that he's a very good human being also. Apart from being a very good teacher, very good researcher, he's also a very good human being. So participants, today he will talk on problem identification and idea generation. Gaurav Saab, ma'am is busy with Vice Chancellor, madam, actually. So she has asked me to introduce you. So with this introduction, I am handing over the session to you. Thank you. Thank you for joining us and for giving us time.
Thank you, Shakir bhai. And I am one of you. And first of all, very good morning to all of you. और सभी को मैं अभिनंदन करता हूं कि आज
Good morning,
बातें
sir.
हम लोग करेंगे आपस में because we all are teachers, fraternity, and we all are the student of education. And the important task is given to me with regard to problem identification and idea generation. They are the 2 important aspects with regard to entrepreneurship. I tell you, being an entrepreneur, there are so many times in life which will come where you will have to identify where we are going wrong, why our business is not working well with regard to that. And every time there comes an idea, how to sort out that problem. And I tell you, the problem will never be a new one. Because if there comes a problem, there comes a solution with regard to that problem. And we will be discussing today with regard to conversation, with regard to business activities, with regard to an entrepreneur, and how we will be able to sort out that, and what an idea that can help us to sort out those problems and those obstacles that will come during our transaction courses, and how we will overcome that obstacles with regard to the idea infusion. Idea can be come from the side of the society, idea can come from an individual, idea can come from a retailer, idea can come from a wholesaler, and idea can come even when you are not thinking about an idea. This is what the beauty of an idea with regard to entrepreneur. And as an entrepreneur, I tell you, we have to be very much focused with regard to what we are witnessing, what we are perceiving, what we are looking on. And the most important thing with regard to an entrepreneurship is that how we perceive the feelings of the people with regard to the business that we are. हम किस तरीके का काम कर रहे हैं, अगर हमको उसमें लोगों की अपेक्षाएं मिल जाए, लोगों का एस्पेक्ट मिल जाए, लोगों के बारे से हमको पता चले कि where we are, then it become very easy for us to develop ourselves. And one more important thing, not to only develop, rather than what are those offshoots that you will get, because an individual can't do anything, and you need to build up a very good team with regard to you, with regard to that. And in this light, I am moving with regard to the topic which has been given to me, and I will be very happy if you have any questions during the course and after the delivery of the lecture also. And it's not a lecture, rather than it's a learning process, because we all belong to the same field, and I am one of you people. Maybe few people will be more experienced than me, and it is my best luck, I tell you, so that I am interacting with you people. There is no teaching rather than just a process of learning between us. And here we come for the first time with regard to this. Let's begin with regard to that. When we thought about the entrepreneurship, when we talk about the problem identification, here comes some sort of things, and there are two views with regard to that, and two views with regard to that are as follows: the traditional views in which the business being done, and another view is a modern view right now when we are talking about a contemporary scenario. एक पहले जमाने में कैसे बिजनेस होता था, एक आज के जमाने में कैसे बिजनेस होता है, दोनों चीजों के बारे में हम लोग बात करेंगे। व्यापार में उसी में हम लोग को ढूंढना पड़ेगा कि हमारे साथ जो जो जरूरतें हैं, जो जो प्रॉब्लम्स हम लोग को आएंगे, वट एवर बी द प्रॉब्लम दैट वी आर गोइंग टू फेस, हाउ टू ओवरकम दैट प्रॉब्लम विद द हेल्प ऑफ एवरी वन ऑफ अस. If you look into that, in the previous times or older times, when we move into that, we have a small businesses. We don't thought about a big economy because we are not a very big economy. Our thoughts are very small. Our aims are small. Because since when get independence, you can understand then when we come out of the clutches of someone, obviously we will never think of flying too high. At that time, when the businesses start, you have aware about the people known as Tatas, Birlas, Ambanis. Ambanis comes later, after 1970s when we talk about, but Bajaj, Birlas, Tatas, they are the forerunners with regard to our economy, I tell you. Their aspirations are very big. But what to talk about the small entrepreneurs which are starting up? Their view was small, their thinking was small, and they don't want to take a big risk in the businesses. If you don't take a big risk in the businesses, obviously you will not get those successes, those platforms which are being made for your purposes, for the aspects of life. And important thing with regard to entrepreneurship, I say that you have to love with risk. If you are not in love with risk, obviously the profits will come down. Someone has to love with the risk, then only you will be getting the new things. I can give you an example with regard to that in the contemporary scenario. We all are aware about the Reliance. Reliance industry is not only an industry, rather than it is a soul of our country, India. Near around 15% of our population is employed under the Reliance industries, under their different business ventures which they are running. In 2000, they comes with an idea of starting Reliance Retail, I tell you. For the first time, the idea comes in their mind that we have to come with the consumer products. We have to come with the goods that will suit to the society at large. Because they have a backing up of a Reliance Industries. They have a very big backing of a Reliance Industries. They come with that. And in 2010, I tell you, there comes a very different condition or difficult situation with regard to Reliance, because their partition comes for the first time between Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani. Reliance participated, or rather than Reliance get partitioned in two parts. One is Reliance Industries, which goes to Mukesh Ambani, where he will be dealing with the petrochemicals, dealing with the cotton yarns and other aspects. He has to left in between the telecommunication. Other group goes to the Anil Ambani group, which with regard to that. And you see how things changes. The idea of Reliance Consumer crops down at that time. They will not be in a position to start up because Anil Ambani was not in a view with regard to that. He enters into different ventures. Then suddenly in 2016, for the first time, they come up with an idea of opening up again with regard to Reliance Consumer Goods. Mukesh Ambani comes with that idea. You will be witnessing smart stores everywhere right now in the country. If you don't have a backing, if you don't have a appetite of taking a risk, you will never grow, I tell. Right now, you see everywhere you will be finding out Reliance Retails. You have a trend in form of casual wears, in form of shoes, in form of everything. You have Reliance Smart Stores in form of, even they are selling your groceries also, they are selling the vegetables, they are selling each and everything. But if that idea does not cross in their mind, they have to face so many problems. Number one was how the financial stability will be there. So they have a bedrock in their form of Reliance Industries. They are using the corpus of Reliance Industries and they are putting up. But one thing, there comes always an idea, if we fail, what will we do? There was so many chances. They have to have a competition with Big Bazaar, which was a retail chain of Birla Group. They have a competition with 7 to 9 a.m. with regard to the things. They have big B Mart, they have a B Bazaar, they have so many competitions which are in there. But even then, their success, because their establishment of Reliance Industries was there, which helped them right now growing in near around 11,000 crore of industry under a form of Reliance Retail, I tell you. So this is what a modern view basically, because if you are not innovation driven, if you don't have a new ideas with regard to that, if you don't want to come up with the new things, they are making you to come to them. They don't want that you go to a bazaar where you are finding so much of traffic. You have to go for a particular shops for purchasing dry fruit, for purchasing masalas, for purchasing different items to different shops. What they have done, they have come under one roof, which is fully air conditioned, where you are getting everything at their doorstep, and they are providing you at a very limited prices. Limited prices means that directly they are purchasing from the producers, and now there is no chain between a producer to a wholesaler, to a retailer, and to a state distributor, then to a district distributor, then to a wholesaler, then to a retailer. They near around cut 3 chains basically. And how the price comes to a dropping fare, because 3 chains of business are not taking any profits. Ultimately, what it leads to, they will be able to provide you a price goods at a very smart price. And that is why they have put it their store name as smart stores. The smart stores, because they are directly dealing with the producers, they are directly selling it to the consumer. Only one person in chain, that is Reliance Retail, they are making all arrangements with regard to that. So this is something innovation driven. This is somewhere they have identified an idea, that how that idea will come into picture, how they are going to flourish with regard to the consumer goods, with regard to the retails, with regard to that. And I tell you one more important thing with regard to that. They have taken into consideration, and they have a tie-up with small producers. There are so many shoes, so many sleepers are coming from Agra, from a very small producers, I tell you. What they hire them, they are providing them the best products, and they are getting the best product at a bigger prices. So this is where an idea generates. This is where an idea comes into picture. This is where scalability comes into picture. It says that when to reaching to the maximum number of people with maximum number of profits only be possible when you have a good chain with regard to that. And another important thing with regard to that is that they look for where the best products are available, how they are able to provide the best product at a cheaper price. This is what the idea identification being done by them. They solve the problem that how they are going to beat the competition with regard to their competitors which are been available, not only at a national level, rather than at a global level also. Right now, if you look into that, in 1991, we have started with regard to liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Now you don't have only the national producers. Now only you have the national peoples who are doing the thing, rather than international companies. International marketability people have come into your picture. Now you don't have a competition with only at a national level, but you have to face a competition with the international level also. And that facing of a competition at international level have given them an edge, how they are going to read out the minds of the people. And the best way to read out the mind of the people, you people, all of you have that idea. They are selling their mobile phones when they started the telecommunication services at rupees 500. For 500, they are making available the mobile phone with services and everything. They know how to catch and read the idea of Indians. And then again in 2016, when they started with Reliance Jio, what they have done, they are providing services at a free of cost. This is where the identification comes into picture. Problem is there, how you are going to get the number of consumers to yourself. You are going to start a new service. You know, Indians are very good at getting 3 things at a freer of cost. At free of cost, they are getting the things. They read out that. They bear the loss for 1 year. They are providing services at a free of cost. Then they started with 100 rupees, 200, 300. Now they are the price setters with regard to telecommunication sector. If you look in India, now they have the largest consumer base. Reading the mind of the consumer is the most important thing for an entrepreneur, I tell you. This is the modern view, and it was always be a traditional view also. अगर आप ग्राहक के दिमाग को नहीं समझ पाएंगे, उसको क्या चाहिए, किस लेवल पे चाहिए, हम कभी भी एक अच्छे बिजनेसमैन नहीं बन सकते। हमको पढ़ना है कि ग्राहक को कैसे हमको कैटर करना है, हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू रीड आउट द कंज्यूमर माइंड, व्हाट ही वांटेड, how we are going to satisfy his needs. If we are able to read that, then I tell you, this is where the evolution of a trader to industrialist, innovators, everything will come into this. This is where the things with regard to innovations come into mind. And an important aspect is that you reach to the grassroots level, you reach to the root cause level from where the things started. And if you are able to reach that grassroots level, you will never fail in your object with regard to that. So wherever you face a problem with regard to that in doing a business, reach to the grassroots level, reach to the grassroots level. And whenever you will reach to the grassroots level, that gives you an innovating power. Where you are getting failure with regard to your things that you are providing to the public at large, कहां पर आपको गलतियां हो रही है, अगर आप आखिरी व्यक्ति तक नहीं पहुंचे जहां तक आपका सामान जा रहा है या आपका बिजनेस जा रहा है, तो आप कभी भी जीवन में ये नहीं पता लगा पाएंगे कि हम उस समस्या से कैसे निदान पाए. We are not able to get the problem sorted out until unless we reaches to where the problem emanates, from where the problem starts with regard to that. Now, moving with regard to evaluation, if we move into that second thing, we have what are the core characteristics of an entrepreneur. When we move into the core characteristics of an entrepreneur, you look into that. So, number one, this is something innovative and creativity. What innovations and creations we have? We all are using a social media platforms every time. You look into the changing of Facebook, how the Facebook had drastically changed their approach with regard to that. If right now we don't have short reels available in Facebook, or they have not come with an idea of introducing those short reels, how many people have left this social media platform if they are not innovating every time? Innovation is the need of a time. Innovation is the need of an hour. Until and unless you are innovating yourself with regard to time, you will never be able to uplift yourself, and creativity is always be there. Short reels comes for the first time. This is a creation. Those people who are in Meta, basically now Facebook has been taken over by Meta. They started, this was the first social platform for all of us. Since using the Yahoo Messenger for the first time in our lives, this Facebook becomes a social media platform where we put everything. And you can understand the owner of Facebook, where he is right now standing, what type of a businessman he is. Every time they are coming with the changes under the Facebook. Forget about Facebook. Talk about WhatsApp now. So many features, the moment we have started WhatsApp in our life, right now, till now, they have upgraded how many features. You look into that. Now you have a group community added. First of all, we never thought about that group community added. First of all, we have a number of limited members to be added in a WhatsApp group. See, there is a change that is needed in the society every time. Every time a new generation will come up, their aspirations are very different. Their needs are very different. They will be looking for something different. So if companies, if an entrepreneur, if a business minds, if the business peoples are not able to understand their changes, are not able to go through those changes, they will left somewhere. And I tell you what happened with regard to one industry. They are not able to cope up the changes. Look for the cameras. The moment when mobile phone comes up with the camera, everybody have a camera in their hands. What about the camera producers? Kodak, Fujifilm, you have so many companies which have been involved in making of cameras. How many people now go to a photographer with regard to photographer? Only the special occasions, only the special gratitudes that we need to give, only we call a photographer for that purpose. Even today, we are not going for a passport photograph to a photographer. What we are doing, we are clicking on our mobile phone and we are going to a photographer with regard to coming out of all those things. Now what the photograph companies or photo cameras manufacturers have done, they have improved the quality of their lenses. How they changes now, their identification. Now there was a problem that everybody has a camera in their hand, but problem was that everybody does not have a good camera in their hand. Everybody does not have a big pixels camera in their hands. Now the camera manufacturers identify this. They say that people have camera, but everybody will not be in a position to purchase a higher amount of mobile phone. Very few people will have more than 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 camera phones. Very few people will have iPhones where you will get a very good lenses under their cameras. What they have done, they have improved the quality versions of their cameras in such a manner that demands automatically derived from the public at large for the purposes of purchasing those cameras. Because everybody wants to have a better pose of themselves. And they are aware about that mobile phone will give you a glimpse of your personification, but it will not give you a very good glimpse of your personification. So here comes an identification. Now you look into that, they have so many qualities of cameras which have come up. Now they have done a threadwire study, how they are going to improve the quality of their lenses and to what extent they can go up. Now thousands of pixels can be taken at a one time by a very good camera, which is not available in a mobile phone. This is where they identify a problem, they improve the quality of their cameras and demand generated. Why we are going for a big cameras now? Why we have a better cameras available? Because we know that our mobile phone will click a picture, but it will not click a very good picture. This was an identification. Camera वालों को पता चला कि मोबाइल केवल पिक्चर ले सकता है, लेकिन एक खूबसूरत पिक्चर नहीं ले पाएगा. It will not be able to take a beautiful picture. It will not be able to capture the beautiful moments of your life. आपके जीवन के सबसे स्वर्णिम पलों को वो कैद नहीं कर पाएगा उतने खूबसूरत तरीके से जितना एक कैमरा कर पाएगा. इसलिए अब कैमरा कंपनीज ने क्या करा, they change it a lot. They improve the quality of cameras. कभी सोचा था 10 साल पहले इतनी अच्छी क्वालिटी के कैमरास आते हैं? We never thought about that such a good qualities of cameras was available in the market, because they have to reshape themselves. And they have reshaped with regard to that. प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई करा, प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफाई था कि मोबाइल फोन में हर किसी के पास कैमरा है. आइडिया जनरेशन कहां से आया? आइडिया जनरेशन आया, हर किसी के पास कैमरा जरूर है, लेकिन हर किसी के पास बढ़िया कैमरा नहीं है. एवरीबडी डज नॉट हैव अ वेरी गुड कैमरा. Everybody has a camera but does not have a very good camera. This is problem identification. Here comes an idea. We should make good cameras at a cheaper price. It should reach to the public at large. Now in 15,000 or at 10,000, you will get a very good camera. Before 10 years, we never thought about such things. 10,000 या 15,000 में हमको अच्छा कैमरा मिलेगा. So we have to remain in limelight. We have to remain in competition. We have to improve ourselves. We have to identify ourselves. We have to identify the problems which have been there every time, which is we need to look for that. If we are not looking for that, and that can only be possible with regard to innovations and creativity. Every time product comes up, they come up with the innovations, they come up with the creativity. Look for Britannia. Why they are leading the FMCG sector in India? Biscuits factory. They come up with the quality biscuits every time. Right now you have oats, you have a Nutri Fiber, you have 5 grains, you have such a good quality of biscuits available. कभी सोचा था 10 साल पहले कुछ ऐसा होगा? No, they come up with an idea, they come up with the identification that we have a sugar patients available in our country. We need to make sugar-free biscuits. We need to give a proper meal to the people who are working from 10 to 5, at least 2 biscuits. They come up with the 5 grains. We have a deficiencies with regard to the different sort of grains. We are not getting only, we are going for a wheat and every time wheat and rice. They thought up an idea. And you look into their packing mechanism. They come up with a very good packing for the first time. वो देश में पहले थे जिन्होंने बहुत अच्छी पैकिंग के साथ बिस्किट बेचे तो टूटते नहीं थे. How the idea started? Problem identification. People say that उनको पता चला कि भाई हमारे बिस्कुट जा तो रहे लेकिन 2-3 बिस्कुट टूटा हुआ मिलता है तो कंज्यूमर को बड़ा नुकसान होता है. उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई करा इस बात को. And they have a very good teams available. I tell you, they have their human resource development. You people are aware about those who are from a management side. We have 3 sides of management. MBA, you can do it in a financial management, you can do it in a marketing, and you can do in a HR. Marketing people get an idea from the public at large. यार बिस्किट टूटते हैं, कहीं ना कहीं नुकसान होता है 3-4 बिस्किट का. How can we make it good? Then they come up with plastic covers inside the covering. And for the first time, the protection been given. Now you see biscuits are not breaked up. Biscuit toot nahi rahe. उनका डिमांड एज इट बरकरार रहा. पैकिंग्स हैव चेंज्ड अप. फिर उन्होंने पट्टे के पैक में शुरू करा. दे कम अप विद different packings. They come with the separate packings of 2244 biscuits so that they will be able to get the better products available at that point of a time. It means that they satisfy the issues raised by the public at large at a proper time. And that is why right now they are witnessing. They identify the problem and they come up with an idea to improve that. And this is what entrepreneurship is all about. That's why they are not the big leaders of the market. They identify the problem at a very, very, very first glance, I tell you. And then they try to improve that. Every time when they try to improve it, public gets satisfied. And important thing is that if you get a satisfaction with regard to that, nobody can beat you in the market. अगर आप पब्लिक को सेटिस्फाई कर रहे हैं अपने प्रोडक्ट से, अपनी सर्विसेज से, कोई ताकत नहीं है जो आपको आपकी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी को बिगाड़ दे, आपके मार्केट शेयर को बिगाड़ दे, आपके प्रोडक्ट को बिगाड़ दे. So it's very important to get the problem identification as a very grassroots level. Two examples I have given up. Now, most important thing, and I love this point too much, risk taking, uncertainty management. We all have witnessed the COVID era. This is what an uncertainty. We are not aware about what will happen next. Right now, we are facing the flood turmoil everywhere. You look into that, small packets of biscuits, small packets, they are making packets and they are distributing to the people who are being affected by the floods. Himachal is facing a flood right now. Punjab is facing a flood. Jammu is facing a flood. That help comes into form of what? In packet foods. And here again, if we are not prepared with that things, how the problems to be sorted out? If we don't have packed foods, right now, if you look into that, those people who are very good in cooking, I tell you, now what we have, the vegetables available in packet forms also. Just we need to complete the requirements, putting a water in that, putting a little bit of spices according to our taste, and we will have a vegetable available on our side. If you are going for a matar paneer, they are coming in packets right now. If you look into that, identification again. People don't have time. Both husband and wife are working. They don't have time. Wife comes again in a very tired situation. After the office is 7 or 8 p.m. in the house. Right now we have the availabilities. They look for the thing that what satisfies the society. Nor, I give an example with regard to company Nor, KNOR. They identified it for the first time that how we are going to solve this problem. Their research team has been there. Lot of money is being invested with regard to research and development. And this is where risk taking comes into picture. New ideas, if does not come, this is a fruit of risk. आप जब तक रिस्क नहीं करेंगे, रिस्क नहीं लेंगे, आप जीवन में आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे. हम रोजाना अपनी गाड़ी से घर जाते हैं, स्कूल जाते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटी आते हैं. हर समय एक रिस्क होता है, घर पहुंचेंगे या नहीं पहुंचेंगे, यूनिवर्सिटी पहुंचेंगे या नहीं पहुंचेंगे, लेकिन एक कॉन्फिडेंस होता है अगर हम प्रॉपर तरीके से व्हीकल को ड्राइव करें तो हम अपने उद्देश्य में जरूर कामयाब होंगे. अपने यूनिवर्सिटी भी पहुंचेंगे टाइम पे, घर पे भी सही पहुंचेंगे, चाहे 2 मिनट ज्यादा लग जाए. रिस्क टेकिंग इज ऑलवेज बी देयर. एवरीबॉडी इज फेसिंग अ रिस्क. और इस रिस्क के साथ ही तो इश्क करना है. इफ वी हैव टू बी अ वेरी गुड एंटरप्रेन्योर, इफ वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू टेक अ रिस्क इन फॉर्म ऑफ आवर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, what we will do? Entrepreneur is one of the factors of production. There are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is a person who brings all 3 factors at one place: land, labor, capital at one place. He is the one who takes the risk. And this is the first quality of a very good entrepreneur, that you need to take a risk. और रिस्क के साथ जिसको इश्क नहीं होगा वो entrepreneur ना बने. I tell you one very blunt thing. You have to in love with risk every time. Every time, because business is something which is the busyness of life. And every time in the busyness of life, there are so many risks that will come up. And every time you should be ready and prepared. And your mind should be very much clear that risk can be there. And we have to move up. Those people who have a willingness to take risk in their life as an entrepreneur, I tell you, they are the one who succeed the most. They are the one who are at the best levels of their life right now. How Dhirubhai Ambani started such a big empire. You read out for that. You have seen the movie Guru. He started selling the silk cloths in the open market. Again, he was working at a petrol pump station. Has ever been thought about now? He has a refineries available. He was the one who has taken the huge amount of loan for the purpose of selling the silk saris in that market. And his silk saris business started, and he started creating a thread. उन्होंने फिर उसके बाद धागा बनाना शुरू करा और यहाँ से शुरू हुआ विमल का विमल कंपनी. With regard to the Dr. Indrajit ji, you have any problems? Right.
মাকে বল বাবাকে কিছু দাও খেতে মাকে বল
I think
Please
you have
do.
any questions you can ask. And this was the vision and leadership with regard to what Dhirubhai Ambani have. Right now, what we are witnessing with regard to Reliance. Dr. Indrajit ji, can somebody message him with regard to that problem is there? He should off his mic.
এই কিছু খেতে হতে দে
Dr. Indrajit ji, please unmute your mic. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please, you are very much free to ask. So this was the vision and leadership skills of an individual. He started to take loan. It was a big risk. He don't have anything. He was not such a big person who can bear the risk with regard to that, but he thought of an idea. He was having a vision in his mind to reach to the pinnacles of success, and he has done that. And every one of us needs to have that risk-taking capacity. Until unless we don't have that risk-taking capacity, we will not be in a position to reach to the pinnacles of success. सक्सेस उन्हीं लोगों को मिलती है जिनमें क्षमता होती है रिस्क को झेलने की, जिनमें क्षमता होती है उस रिस्क को संभालने की, जिनमें क्षमता होती है उस रिस्क को लेने की. If we are not in a position to have this all, we will never become a very good entrepreneur. Because right now I am not a teacher, I am an entrepreneur. I am talking from a point of view of an entrepreneur. Because if I don't assume in myself a role of an entrepreneur, I will never be conversant with regard to the things that an entrepreneur has to face. एक प्रॉब्लम आता, कोविड आया, मार्केट बंद हो गया, फैक्ट्रीज चल बंद हो गई, सैलरी कहां से लाएंगे? He has to face that risk. We should be ready. हमको ये भी दिमाग में होना चाहिए कभी तो कोविड खत्म होगा. At any point of a time, COVID should come to an end. Then we will resume with regard to our production in the same manner as we are doing previously. So this sort of things will always be there. And this is where a value creation comes into picture. Very good firms, very good production houses have never allowed their workers to leave. They have given them salaries, they have given them minimum amount, they have given them a supportive amount, and that hard time, which connects a social element of those employees with the company. Tata has never left one element, I tell you. Tatas are one of the best employers. They have never allowed one of their employees to leave their companies in the crunch time of COVID. Even though there was no production, nothing, that they have their bad balance sheets. They have a strong balance sheets, which they have already have in their minds. Those people from a commerce side can understand that they have the funds, sufficient funds. They use that. They provide their employees to all those certain requirements. उन्होंने अपने कर्मचारियों को सब मदद करा, क्योंकि वहां पर दो चीजों में डिफरेंस आ जाता है. वो लोग इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है, वो बिजनेसमैन नहीं है. They are the industrialists. They want the country to develop. They want to provide products at a cheaper cost. They provide to help everyone. They don't always have an idea to earn. Even the good companies have never left their employees at the time of distress. If you are helping them in the time of distress, they will never leave you. They will always affect their heart and soul with you, and they will do their best in order to make you the best companies of the world with regard to that. Keeping this in mind, I tell you, social element and social impact is a very important aspect. If you are ready to give it to someone, other will be able to give you a back with regard to that. So always keep in mind that adaptability and resilience is one of the needs of an entrepreneur. Resilience at the time when the time is hard, when the time is tough, we have to patiently wait that time to pass on. हमको उस वक्त का इंतजार करना होता है और बहुत ही इत्मीनान के साथ, बहुत ही संतोष के साथ हमको बैठना पड़ेगा उस वक्त जब हमारा कठिन समय चल रहा होता है, क्योंकि कठिन समय कठिन होता है लेकिन खराब नहीं होता। और उस कठिन समय से जब आप निकल जाएंगे एक एंटरप्रेन्योर के तौर पे बहुत ही आराम से, क्योंकि कठिन समय में आप कितना भी परेशान हो लें, आपको वक्त लगेगा उसको सुधारने में। जैसे कोविड के बाद ओवरकम करने में हम लोग को टाइम लगा, तो जो अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स थे, those who are a very good entrepreneurs, they are the ones who patiently wait for the hard time to go on. And once the hard time finished, they start with the normal proceedings, they start with the normal workings, then and all those things comes to an end. क्योंकि हर खराब वक्त खत्म जरूर होता है और उस खराब वक्त के खत्म होने का इंतजार करना है। अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर के तौर पे यही रेजिलेंस है, यही अडॉप्टेबिलिटी है एक एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए। If you don't have this characteristics, then you will never be able to identify the problems and idea generation will never come. Because if you keep your head filled with every wrong things in your mind, from where you will get the best things to sort out the problem that you are facing. So adaptability, resilience is again an important aspect with regard to that. And we have to move upon. Now, moving to what are the gaps under the entrepreneurship we have. क्या क्या गैप्स हम लोग के पास होंगे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के अंदर? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, इफ एन एंटरप्रेन्योर needs to be a good one, he should read the society, he should know about his product, and he should know about the targeted group where the product is reaching. एक अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर को समाज को पढ़ना आना चाहिए और उसको अपने आखिरी क्षमता तक पहुंचना चाहिए अपने उस व्यक्ति के पास जो उस प्रोडक्ट को इस्तेमाल कर रहा है। Because every person does not use every product item. We have 3 classes of population in our country. हम लोग कहते हैं हाई क्लास, मिडिल क्लास एंड लोअर क्लास, एंड वी हैव वन मोर क्लास which is below poverty line. So we have 4 class of peoples available. So every product is not made for every class of people. There are products which are made for classes of people. Now you have to look into that as an entrepreneur, in which class your product suits the most. आपका प्रोडक्ट किस क्लास के लिए सबसे ज्यादा सूट करता है? अगर आप उस क्लास को रीड नहीं कर पाए, यू विल बी फेलिंग इन योर ड्यूटीज एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर। आप अपनी जिम्मेदारियों का निर्वहन नहीं कर पाएंगे एक एंटरप्रेन्योर के तौर पे, एक बिजनेसमैन के तौर पे, क्योंकि आप सबसे पहले अपने उस क्लास का दिमाग पढ़ना है। यू हैव टू रीड आउट द माइंड ऑफ दैट क्लास ऑफ पीपल वेयर योर प्रोडक्ट इज बीन रीचिंग, एंड यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इफ दे आर फेसिंग एनी प्रॉब्लम विद योर प्रोडक्ट. If they are facing any problem with your product, then you have to do one thing. You have to come out with a solution for that problems. And this can only be done with the help of research and development. You have to create a very good team with regard to that. And this gap can be downside, or this gap can be removed only when you have a good research and development team. Every good entrepreneur have a research and development team. I tell you, every time they come up with new products, their research team is helping them out. And right now, if you look into that, our Indian economy is spending a huge amount on research and development. Recently, our Honorable Prime Minister has allowed for semiconductor productions and manufacturing. And when we have to wait for other companies or other companies of the world for the purposes of semiconductors, why we are not coming up? We come up on a self-reliance. Our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, has started a scheme with regard to that. They are giving relief packages to the companies, and they are helping out them to companies to produce your semiconductors, because they are the needs. Right now, you are using mobile phones. We all are being connected with electronic device where the semiconductors are need to be used. If we are able to produce our semiconductors, then obviously what will that? We will be able to bring down the cost of all electronic devices in our country. And this will again a win-win situation for the people who are living, who are been there. If they are in a very, very winning situations, pushing themselves with regard to that, ultimately we will be in a position of coming up from insufficiencies of existing products, services, and systems. So this is where the top management takes the decisions. What are the insufficiencies with regard to that? That needs to be cured down, that needs to be filled up. Again, the research and development team will have a great role to play in that, how that insufficiency has to be gone up or has to be taken from us. Now, again, If you look into the new generation, all of you are teachers. Now you are witnessing one thing. Every new generation which is coming does not have a patience. Does not have a patience. Why they don't have a patience? Because they are being given, or rather than they are a gift of technologies being given to them by way of by birth. We don't have YouTubes in our time. We don't have those reels which are being available. We don't have those things. They can start from one point and they can go finish, and then they can start from us. We have to start from the beginning and we have to wait till the end for the completion of the things. So keeping this in mind, that technology needs to be changed. Because if we are not able to adopt our products according to the needs of the young generations, have we ever think about that? We don't have any wires right now being available for the purposes of speaking. We don't have microphones to be used. Technologies are there under the laptops, under the mobile phones. Directly, there can be a communications with regard to that. So this is what the benefits of the technology. This is what, because of the needs of the society, because of the needs of the younger generation. So as an entrepreneur, you have to make a balance between the needs of the younger generation as well as the needs of the older generation. But needs of young generation is needed because every time you have a new generation which is more modified, which is more technological advanced. So you have to be more technological advanced right now. I tell you, I can give you an example. Children are far better in using mobile phones and laptops than all of us. We are not born in that generation where we have witnessed all these things from our childhood. When we have grown up, when we have done our graduations, for the first time we are witnessing laptops. What are the laptops are aware about? What are the internets and everything? We don't have seen an Android phone when we are born. The young generation, the moment they born up, they are witnessing all these technological advances. Their minds goes far, far better than us. And we have to look into that as an entrepreneur, that we have to satisfy their needs. If we are not able to satisfy their needs, you see how mobile phone come up with different features every time. Every time there is an upgradation of mobile phones. Every time there is an upgradation of new technologies in the mobile phone. This is what the technological requirements needs to be filled by a good entrepreneur. And there is a blind spot. Blind spot is that area which has not been touched by anyone. As an entrepreneur, if you are making a product or if you are making a competitive product, your competitors are with regard to that product, then you have to look for where your competitor has left area where they have not touched to the public at large. If you are able to identify that blind spot, means that area which remains untargeted. This is something important as an entrepreneur. You should make a study as an entrepreneur where your competitors are reaching towards there and where they have not reached. First of all, go to that area because that is untargeted. And if you are able to target that area, you will be in a win-win situation for the purposes of your product, because you will be far, far better to your competitors because you have reached to that area where your competitors have not reached. That blind spot is everywhere. In every business, you will be finding out the blind spots with regard to that, I tell you. Everywhere, you will be having a blind spot with regard to that. And there are certain methods of spotting out the gaps which are been there. Observation and empathy, study consumer behavior, that I already tell. If as an entrepreneur, you are not in a position to read out the minds and brains of your consumer, you will never be able to win. You will never be able to have a constant amount of profits. Because as an entrepreneur, your object should remain how to earn maximum profits. Not 1 year, not 2 years. Every time until you are doing a business, your object should remain one, to earn a maximum amount of profits. And that maximum amount of profit can only be there if you are reading your consumer and upgrading your products every day. If you are not upgrading your products, then your consumer will leave you, will move to another product. And once I tell you, you loses out on your consumer, it's a less probability than a 1% that he will come back to you again. So don't allow your consumer to leave. The moment you will allow your consumer to leave, it's less probability that he will come back. So observation needs to be there. And this can be done with the second aspect. This can be done with the second aspect, that how you look for your complaints, how you look for the feedbacks, whether you are taking those feedbacks in a very positive manner or not. If you are taking those feedbacks in a very positive manner, then this gives you a chance to improve the quality of products. This gives you a chance to improve the skills. This gives you a chance to improve your services. And once you are going to do that adaptability with regard to the changes our society needs, your consumer needs, nobody can beat you. If your consumer is happy with you, he will go nowhere right here. Nowhere he will go. Because consumer don't want to waste time in choosing other people's, choosing other alternatives. If I am being satisfied, I tell you, I will only go to that person. There are certain businesses, there are certain products where public rarely change the people. I can give you an example of a barber. आप अपने barber को I reached to an age of 42 years. I have only changed one barber in my life, I tell you, because he has expired. I never go to anybody else. There are certain services that you want only from one person. And in order that one person to sustain, you need to improve every time. If he is not able to improve every time, then he will be losing out on a very, very frequent customer, a customer which is his own. And as an entrepreneur, never allow that. You never allow your true customer to lose out on you. आप अपने एक सच्चे कस्टमर को अगर आप छोड़ देंगे ना, तो आप एक बड़ा नुकसान करते हैं, क्योंकि वो एक सच्चा कस्टमर जो आपके साथ सालों से जुड़ा हुआ है ना, वो एक कस्टमर नहीं है, वो आपके लिए एक वसुधा है, वो आपके लिए एक असेट है। वो असेट इसलिए कि वो 50 आदमियों से कह चुका है अब तक ये प्रोडक्ट बढ़िया है। वो कितने कस्टमर आपके जुड़वा चुका है? How many customers he have given to you with regard to that? Did you ever notice that? If he is happy with you, he will make you happy every time. So always try to keep happy your consumers, to keep that information to your consumer that we are not going to leave you. You are very much sacred to us. You are our God. Because देखिए ग्राहक हमेशा देता है, हम लोग बोलते हैं, हम लोग हमेशा क्यों ये लाइन बोलते हैं, दुकानदार के पास आप जाइए, ग्राहक हमारा देता है। क्योंकि बिकॉज इफ कंज्यूमर डज नॉट कम टू अ शॉपकीपर, अगर ग्राहक दुकान वाले के पास नहीं आएंगे, दुकानदार के पास, तो दुकानदार की जीविका कैसे चलेगी? हाउ ही इज एबल टू अर्न? सो इट्स एन इंपॉर्टेंट नेसेसिटी दैट यू शुड ऑलवेज रेस्पेक्ट योर कंज्यूमर. And respect of consumer does not depend how you are talking. Respect depends on what quality of product you are providing him with regard to the needs of the time. Every time needs come up, you have to be like that. And this is something very, very important, I tell you. And if you are able to do that, one of the gaps you are going to improve yourself, you will be a very good entrepreneur, and entrepreneur needs to do that. Then one more important thing, trends. There are so many trends which are changing in the society, and starting from a Bollywood. Why we forget about? If Amitabh Bachchan is wearing some sort of a shirt, society is starting wearing that. Akshay Kumar comes up with some sort of a t-shirt, those t-shirts comes into picture. Amir Khan, for the first time, comes with a cap in Dil Hai Ki Manta Nahi movie. All of us are wearing that sort of a caps. So this is where we have to look into as an entrepreneur, what are the trends right now going in the society. If we are not able to catch up with the trends which are there in the society, then we are doing a mistake. We are going to lose out on our consumers, because customer every time want to upgrade himself with regard to what is the fashions right now going on, what is the trend right now going in the society. And if we are able to formulate that trend in our business practices, then we are not going to lose out on our consumers. There is a possibility that there are certain consumers which never adopt something. They go with regard to one fashion they have, with regard to one fashion they have. They are not going to change the adopt. But what talk about the new generation? You see, as a teachers, you are teaching so many students in your class, and every boy, you will be finding out a different haircut. I can give you this example. This is what the trend in the society. They want to upgrade themselves with regard to what is going in the society, because every boy in their youth time, because you all are university teachers, you all are at a big places, you can feel this trend. When a student reaches in your classroom, he is in a graduation. In a graduation, a student is at their best. They are feeling that now they are a young generation. They needs to adopt the new things, and they do so many practicals with them. So all those practicals needs to be identified and to be done so you can be able to beat your competitors. Otherwise, competitors will take the advantage and their competitors' benchmarking will not increase. Rather than you will win and you will beat your competitors and you will be in a very, very win-win situations. So needs to read out the society trends. And these trends come from the big recognized people of the society. I give an example of Amitabh Bachchan. Right now, what sort of coats he are wearing, what sort of dresses he are wearing in a Kaun Banega Crorepati, maybe the dresses chosen by number of people of belonging to that age. This is one of the trends because he is a social figure in our society. He's a very big name. Come to a Sachin Tendulkar. If he's wearing some sort of a t-shirt, some sort of colors, some sort of a shirt, some sort of trousers, some sort of shoes, obviously we have to look into that because we get an idea. They are our heroes basically. And heroes of the society are one of the trained sectors. For an entrepreneur, it's important to read the heroes of the society, their habits, their practices, their fashions, so that changes can be brought with regard to one generation. Now, if you look into one of the cloth manufacturers or producers, I tell you, now you have three types of generations. You will be getting for young generations, you will be getting for moderate generation, and you will be getting for older generations, their clothes. Why? Because choices of a old generation will not be the equivalent with regard to the choices of the young generation. Might be a moderate generation can go for an older choice, maybe go for a younger choice. So you need to have everything in your compartment of your mind so that nobody goes blank from your business. Everybody gets the things of their needs with regard to that. So many things. Then you have a personal experiences. Personal experiences you can ask. There are so many things. And a best example is Anand Mahindra. You look out for his statements. Every time he looks for a statement, he comes with a statement, he learns from the public at large, and he comes with that statement that we are going to modify our requirements. So this is something, an important aspect that need to be taken into consideration. And once you will be in a position to take that, and then you will be able to sort out the requirements of the society. Now, some case laws for you, some important things for you. There are examples. Uber. Those people who are living in a metro cities or big cities of the country, they can identify basically Uber. I live in Delhi for 10 years, I tell you. Before I joining this Aligarh Muslim University, I used to take Ola and Uber. But now you look, problem comes where? Problem comes when you have a traffic time. That is when the office starts leaving. From 5 to 8, they spike their prices like anything. Ola and Uber. Why? Because they are the only two people. They are the duopoly with regard to that. And before 5 years, we don't have motorbike also available for the purposes of this riding. Convenience is not been available. We are not aware about what sort of a consumer they are going to pick, because if you are taking a group Ola or group Uber, there are 4 seats available. 4 seats you are not available, you are not comprehending which a good person will come up, which not, whether that ride will be a good one or not. In order to convenience, now they have started up one thing. They are telling them what sort of people they are sitting under their applications. They are telling about this car is coming up, this car is occupied by the 2 persons, or such and such, they have to be dropped at such and such place. Now you have an option available. They come up with the problems. Their problem was that everybody was not so convenient in sitting with, if other person is sitting in that cab with regard to that. So they come up with the identification. Now they are sorting out, plus now they are changing with regard to their pricing, because government has taken an initiative, I tell you, in this regard, that why in a traffic time you spike your prices like anything. You have to be very much moderate. only 2 or 3 rupees per kilometer you can add up. You cannot be allowed to add up to a 30 or 50 rupees per kilometer, which they are doing up. And on that basis, they are losing out on a number of consumers. Now you look into that. If they slash their prices, their consumers will increase and their demand will increase. And once their demand will increase, their supply will increase. And supply and demand, if increased, obviously it is a win-win situation for both the producer as well as for the consumer. So they are going to come up with this. Second example, we have Airbnb. You are aware about now, there are so many expensive hotels which are been available. Why we are going for, there are different apps which have been available where we can book with regard to our hotels. Right now, we have so many things which have been available on the social media. People come with a competitive price. They never have a competitive price in their minds. Why? Because they want to only cater a single aspect of the society, higher or rich class of people which have been there in the society. Their concentration is different. That is why they are in a losing strength right now. Otherwise, other hotel providers, they are now on a very competitive price. Competitive pricing because they know that public at large is there. If we are going to shoot up our prices, then we are going to lose out a number of consumers. Keeping a competitive price is one of the requirements. This is where they identify the problem and they come up with a solution of a competitive price. Paytm, you know why Paytm failed. They come up with a huge valuation. 2,000 rupees per share when their IPO comes for the first time. Their valuation was not such that. Now, right now, they are coming up with the changes. They are coming up with so many things. Government has banned them because they are the first who have to introduce the digital transactions with regard to paperless currency. And at that time, they were the new ones. They are not aware about the problem because, again, I tell you, even if you go in villages right now, people are not ready to make a digital transaction. They want to make a transaction in cash. They want to use Gandhiji for the purposes of their transaction. They don't have that reliability added in their minds with regard to that. So we have to reach to the number of people for the purposes of sorting out this. Tesla, again, is a big and huge in price. Everybody in India cannot purchase a Tesla cars. So they have come up for the first time. Let's see the results. And I tell you, their one car costs near around 10 cars of Maruti. A person will purchase 10 cars of a Maruti for purchasing one Tesla. Now you can understand with regard to an economy, this is a huge gap. How they are going to sort it out, or only it is for VIP peoples, or it is only for rich people. Maybe possible. Zomato and Reliance people, I talked about that. Now I left with a little time and I have to complete the sheets. Idea generation. Now I come with regard to an idea generation. What are the idea generations? Now look for idea generations. There is a one ad of Idea Vodafone, which says that an idea can change your life. One idea, Deependu Mehta, the owner of Zomato. I give you an example how the idea of Zomato comes into a picture. Their three friends are sitting in IIT canteen and they are thinking that can anything be possible that we are sitting at our home and we can get the meal which we require, the meal which we like. Can there be a possibility? Can it reach to our homes? And here comes an idea of Zomato. Delivery platforms for the first time comes in form of quick commerce services. QCS, we have the for quick commerce services. Their idea comes in the canteen when three friends were sitting. तीन दोस्त बैठे हुए थे, वो सोच रहे थे यार कुछ ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो सकता जो खाना हम चाहते हैं, जो मन का हमारा खाना है, वो हमको हमारे घर पर मिल जाए और हमको कहीं जाना ना पड़े. गर्मी भी बहुत पड़ती है हिंदुस्तान के अंदर, 42 डिग्री का टेम्परेचर होता है. कौन बाहर निकलेगा, कौन गाड़ी चलाएगा, कौन जाएगा इतनी धूप में, होटल में बैठेगा, खाना खाएगा? क्या कुछ ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है? ऐसा हो सकता है. तब उन्होंने Zomato बनाया and we have for the first time delivery platforms now associated. This is what an idea can do. Idea is the process of creating, developing, communicating new concept. This is one new concept we have. आज की तारीख में आप देखो, you have a delivery platforms available. Blinkit, 10 minutes delivery. Swiggy is there. So many people are learning. Even your colony shopkeeper is saying that call us on this number. We are going to provide you a delivery of products to your doorstep. कॉलोनी में दुकान वाला भी अब आपको एक नंबर देता है डिलीवरी के लिए, कहता है मैडम आप घर से मत निकलिए बाहर, आप हमको बस फोन कीजिए, ये सुविधा हम आपको उपलब्ध करा देंगे। क्या कभी सोचा था हम लोगों ने? ये क्या था? एक आइडिया था, और आइडिया तो हम आम आदमियों के जीवन में आता ही आता है। और एक एंटरप्रेन्योर तभी बढ़िया हो सकता है जब उसके पास आइडियाज की भरमार हो, और फिर वो उस आइडियाज को चरितार्थ करे, उन आइडियाज पे काम करे, और उस आइडियाज को सच्चाई में जीवांत करे। Until unless those ideas being put it into life by those people, I tell you, idea does not have a value. So many people of us, so many young talents of India is right now be with me. I tell you, I am one of you. How many ideas we have, but how many of us have power to take that risk? हम सबके पास बहुत अच्छे आइडियाज हैं, हम सब लोग शिक्षक हैं, हम लोग एक नई जनरेशन तैयार कर रहे हैं, एक युवा भारत तैयार कर रहे हैं, और हम खुद एक भारत हैं अपने आप में। हम लोग देश के डिफरेंट कॉर्नर से जुड़े हुए हैं। आज कितने आइडियाज हैं हम लोगों के पास अपने एरियाज को बेटर करने के, कितने आइडियाज हैं हम लोग, लेकिन हम में से कितने लोग उस रिस्क को लेने के लिए तैयार हैं? दीपेंदु मेहता ने अपनी 2 करोड़ की नौकरी का पैकेज छोड़ा था, तब जोमेटो बनाया था। कितने में हम लोग तैयार है अपने पास जो कैपिटल है उसको, उस आइडिया को लगाने के लिए, और कितने लोगों को अपने पे भरोसा है? दैट इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। आपको अपने आइडिया पे कितना भरोसा है वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मैटरलिस्टिक करता है। अगर आपको अपने आइडिया पे भरोसा नहीं है, देन वी विल नेवर बी एबल टू अचीव दैट व्हाट वी वांट टू अचीव। तो अपने पे भरोसा करिए, जितने भी एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बनाइए, सबको बोलो कि पहले अपने पे भरोसा करो। अगर आपको अपने पे भरोसा नहीं है, आपको अपनी स्किल्स पे भरोसा नहीं है, आपको अपने दिमाग पे भरोसा नहीं है, आप फिर किसी पे भरोसा मत करिए। आप जीवन जिए आराम से, लोगों ने आपके लिए अच्छी दुनिया बना रखी है, लेकिन जिनको कुछ पाना है, जिनको कुछ करना है, जिनको कुछ दिखाना है, जिनको इस देश को बेहतर बनाना है, उनको रिस्क लेनी पड़ेगी, अपने पे भरोसा करना पड़ेगा, अपने पे विश्वास करना पड़ेगा। देयर आर सो मेनी पीपल्स हु हैव टू डू दैट, एंड वी नीड दैट। एंड आई अर्ज यू ऑल यंग पीपल्स हु आर बीन हियर, एंड एवरीवन, एवरी टाइम अ टीचर इज यंग, आई टेल यू। हम लोग कभी बूढ़े नहीं होते, क्योंकि हम हर बार एक नई जनरेशन को पढ़ाते हैं। वी हैव टू अपलिफ्ट द मोटिवेशन ऑफ अ यंग जनरेशन। हम उनको ना नौकरी लेने वाला नहीं, हम उनको नौकरी देने वाला बनाना है हमको। वी हैव टू मेक देम that you should provide jobs to the public at large. Don't go for jobs. If as a young teachers we are able to create that idea in the mind of the people who you are going to mentor, definitely our India will be the best India that we are going to witness in the upcoming 10 years. अगले 10 साल में ये चेंज आपको नजर आ जाएगा। कोशिश करिए, मैं भी कर रहा हूं, आप भी करिए, हम सब साथ मिलेंगे तभी एक अच्छा भारत बना पाएंगे। और अच्छा भारत बनाना हमारी नैतिक जिम्मेदारी है, हमारी सोशल जिम्मेदारी है, और हमारी सबसे प्रथम जिम्मेदारी है, बिकॉज वी हैव टू पुट कंट्री फर्स्ट। अगर हम अपने देश को प्रथम नहीं पढ़ पाए एज ए शिक्षक के तौर पे, वी विल नॉट बी इन अ कंडीशन वी आर एबल टू रीपे आवर डेट टू दिस लैंड। हम इस जमीन का कर्जा, इस देश का कर्जा कभी भी नहीं चुका पाएंगे। तो मेरे युवा साथियों, युवा दोस्तों, तो मेरे को आपसे पूरा भरोसा है, वी विल गिव देम, टेक रिस्क, गिव जॉब्स टू द पब्लिक एट लार्ज, डोंट गेट फॉर जॉब्स। अगर 100 में से 10 भी गए उस चीज के लिए, तो हमारे पास एक अच्छा भारत होगा। वी विल बी फाइंडिंग देम विद रिगार्ड टू दैट। Problem solving market needs, I already discussed with regard to that. Idea generation is a continuous process. Yes, it will always be a continuous process. जिस दिन तक हम जिंदा हैं, हमको सीखना है और नए आइडियाज को लाना है, नई जनरेशन के साथ बैलेंस करना है। वी हैव टू बी बैलेंस विद द न्यू जनरेशन एवरी टाइम, एंड द मोमेंट वी आर एबल टू हैव दैट, वी विल बी इन अ वेरी वेरी विन सिचुएशन. Entrepreneurs should stay open with regard to new creativity and experiences. Yes, they need to be that. And now we are moving with regard to that. Another important aspect, we have techniques for idea generation, brainstorming, mind mapping, scanner methods, designing thinking. This is already I discussed with regard to one thing, because I have to give you a time with regard to question answers also. Understanding needs in society. This is something important, I tell you. When we talk about this is something, when we move into that understanding, bus one minute. ये चेंज ऐसे नहीं हो रहा है. Just 1 minute. Just a minute. I have a problem with regard to changing of my PPT. Now, this is one thing. This is something important that I am going to discuss with regard to that. And only I left with 2 slides. Then I will be open for question and answers. More important thing is to read out market and society. And how you will be able to read out market and society is that there are certain basic needs everyone have: food, housing, healthcare, education. Innovation should need every time a new group of society comes into picture, their needs increases. As a new generation crops in, we have to identify them and we have to improve our products with regard to them. And a modern need, I tell you, this is a new generation's demand. If we are not able to complete this, no entrepreneur can survive right now, because digital access. I give an example now most of the students have their wallet in their mobile phone. They don't have cash. If any shopkeeper does not adopt to new cashless economy or cashless, then they are going to disturb their businesses, because उनको पैसा मिलेगा नहीं. नए बच्चों के पास सबके पास e-wallets है, सबके पास गूगल पे है, फोन पे है, भीम पे है. They are using that. एक दुकान वाला कहता है नहीं मुझको कैश चाहिए. How can you do that? So you need to adopt that. Digital access has to be there. Financial inclusion has to be there with regard to that. Emerging needs, that's something important. Sustainability, clean energy, mental health, scrutiny. Yes, as a good entrepreneur, these are the principles for a better nation. If we are working on sustainability, we are doing our packaging in such a material which will be absorbed, which does not create a problem to the environment, does not create a hazard for the purposes. Obviously, this is something very good, and it catches an eye of a consumer also. मैं आपको एक और बात बताता हूँ, अगर आपके प्रोडक्ट इस तरीके से हैं जो देश की वसुधा को, एनवायरनमेंट को नुकसान नहीं पहुंचा रहे, they are not causing any problems to the environment, consumer always purchases for that. Plastics have come into a different forms. They are being absorbed now with regard to the land, but certain plastics are not being they are going to disturb the environment. So this is something which is important, and a class of people look for that. They are of a very different minds. I tell you, I have worked in Tata where we have no plastics use. I tell you, we are not using anything. Same thing I have applicable in myself with regard to Aligarh Muslim University. I am not using plastics anywhere in my projects of asking page, using paste fully. They are writing on the one side of page. I say them, no, write on the both sides, because these are the natural resources needs to be preserved. As a teachers, we should preserve our natural resources, and this will give you a sustainability element. Same is applicable to the entrepreneurs. Needs to evolve the technology, globalization changes. Yes, you need to change the society with regard to that. And more importantly, when you move into that, there comes an important aspect. And now, with regard to the most important thing, from gaps to opportunity, define the problem clearly as the need statement comes into picture. And once the need statement comes into picture, you have to come up with a solution for that. Within strong, innovative solution, yes, timely, accurately, speedy, needs to be there. Otherwise, competitors will win. जो competitors हैं वो जीत जाएंगे और आप पीछे रह जाएंगे. इसलिए बहुत ही तुरंत और त्वरित सॉल्यूशन सबको चाहिए. तुरंत आइडिया लाइए, प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व आउट करिए, competitors आगे को मत निकलने दीजिए, आप आगे निकलिए. This is something important. Test feasibility, demand scalability. It means that you have to test every time. Feasibility will come into pictures. Things are very good. Refining ideas, feedback. Every time an idea will come into picture, feedbacks will come into picture. Needs to be there. And more importantly, if the ideas are not put it into reality, then there is no benefit of an idea. Ideas should be used, should be done. And I give an example for that. Why the entrepreneurs come with offers on their product? Buy one, get one free. Buy 20% extra, 50% extra, 30% extra. Buy one, get this product free. Why all these things are being done? In order to catch the consumers, in order to create a new consumer base, in order to sort out the problem which their products are facing, with order to give them a benefit in form of another product. Same cost, they are getting two products. So these are the ideas that needs to be generated. And as a social reformer, an entrepreneur should be a social reformer. अगर आप एक social reformer नहीं होंगे, society को change नहीं कर सकते, it will be very difficult. Entrepreneur has full power to change the society with regard to best. I can give you an example of Britannia. Eat better, think better. These taglines are basically the motto of the production houses. Your tagline should work according to the mottos which you want to do in your society and which the change you want to bring in the society. This is something, and we come to a conclusion right now. Society needs is the seed of innovation. Obviously, what the society needs to be perceived and change to be done by an entrepreneur. What society needs from him. समाज में बदलाव की आवश्यकता है. समाज जो बदलाव आपसे चाहता है उस बदलाव को करिए, तभी आप एक अच्छे बिजनेसमैन बन पाएंगे, एक अच्छे एंटरप्रेन्योर बन पाएंगे. सो सोसाइटी नीड्स टू बी टेकन अवे ऑन अ वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम. चैलेंजेस स्पार्क क्रिएटिव एंड सस्टेनेबल वेंचर्स. चैलेंजेस आर ऑलवेज बी देयर. हम सबकी जिंदगी में चैलेंज आता है. एंटरप्रेन्योर की जिंदगी में ज्यादा चैलेंजेस है, क्योंकि एवरी टाइम देयर इज एन अपग्रेडेशन इन द सोसाइटी. सोसाइटी हर बार बदलती रहती है, बढ़ती रहती है, नई आती रहती है, नए आइडियाज आते हैं, नए इनोवेशंस आते हैं, नए प्रोडक्ट्स आते हैं, नए चैलेंजेस आते हैं, नए कॉम्पिटिटर्स आते हैं. यू नीड टू बी कॉम्पिटिटिव विद रिगार्ड टू दैट. हिला पाना आपको मुश्किल हो, क्योंकि आप समाज के साथ चलें, आप वक्त के साथ चलें, वक्त की नजाकत को समझें, वक्त की नब्ज को पकड़ें, समाज की नब्ज को पकड़ें, उस हिसाब से चेंजेस करें अपने प्रोडक्ट में, उस हिसाब से अपने प्रोडक्ट को बदलाव लाएं और बेहतर प्रोडक्ट देने की हर बार कोशिश करें. देन यू विल हैव द बेटर थिंग्स. Entrepreneurs create value by transforming pain points into opportunity. Yes. First, if a consumer goes to another one, if you lose out on a consumer, it is a win situation for another entrepreneur. If he gets satisfied by that product, look for those consumers which are coming from a different backgrounds to you. They are not your original customers. Try to keep them happy with your product. Have a good feedback with them. Listen to the feedbacks. Come to the ground level. This is something important. I keep this for the last. Entrepreneurs, those who come on the ground level. जो businessman ground level पे आके काम करता है, वो हमेशा successful होता है. There are so many entrepreneurs who always listen to their teams but never come to the ground level. You need to come to the ground level also sometime, which gives a better feeling to your consumers. तो आपको ग्राउंड लेवल पे आना है और समझना है आने का क्या जरूरत है, क्योंकि आपका प्रोडक्ट है, आपका कंज्यूमर आपसे खुश कैसे होगा जब आप उसकी चीजों को सुनेंगे, समझेंगे, उसको बताएंगे और उसको हेल्प आउट करेंगे. दैट नीड्स टू बी डन. और अगर थोड़ा बहुत नुकसान कभी हो भी जाए, if any losses are being occurred to you at that time to make happy your consumer, do that. Take that loss, because that loss is not a big loss. That loss will give a trust to your consumer to remain attached with you. He will value you. He will take that into consideration कि मेरे entrepreneur ने मेरे को नुकसान नहीं हुआ, मेरी बात को माना. It will go for a long way. This is one form of advertising which you are not seeing, which you are not witnessing, which you are not doing, but by a social working, you have done that. So this is something important. Gap spotting, already we have talked about. Every problem is a potential opportunity. All problems are a potential opportunity with regard to that, because if we are not able to sort out the problems, we are not going to create a consumer base for all of us. We need to create a consumer base. It means problem need to be sorted out, problem needs to be listened, and problems are to be tackled down. ये एक अच्छा एंटरप्रेन्योर है. अगर आप समस्याओं को नहीं समझेंगे, समस्याओं को नहीं सुनेंगे और समस्याओं का निदान नहीं करेंगे, if you are not able to come up with a solution with regard to your problems, what you are doing? We are here. We have only one life. We have only one work. We should make our works possible and better in this world. This is from my side, and I'm very happy to take questions from your side, because as per the requirements, we will be moving into that. And now the floor is open with regard to the questions. Please, you can ask the questions.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
What idea and law about control the increased price and cost of every useful item for human beings, such as the gold price just doubled in the last 1 or 2 years.
Thank you so much for this question. I tell you one thing more, sir. Certain things which are not in the hand of government, prices of gold are being measured or are being tackled by the international authorities right now.
Yes,
And those things are not in the hands of your government. Those things are not in the hand of academicians. Those things are not in the form of industries. But look into the GST2 reforms, which is going to come from 22nd of September, which government has done for the purposes of bringing down the prices of general goods to the public land. It is going to be one of the best reforms a society will receive right now. I tell you, look into that. It is for a class of persons, needy person, general class, middle class. If the taxes has come down, product cost will come down. This is what government can do. Government will do for you. We have to be patient with regard to that. But those things which are not in a control of an individual, those things which are not in the control of our government,
Vocational
we can't
skill
do.
in accountancy.
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
SEC, चौथे semester मध्ये.
BSc. Vocational
SEC.
Yes.
BSc sir.
Kindly.
बोलो ना.
Yes. Yes, sir.
पेपरचं नाव आहे Vocational skill in accountancy, SEC मध्ये.
सर थोड़ा सा तेज बोले, आवाज नहीं आ रहा है.
BSc से बोलते थे क्या?
हां.
सेमेस्टर 4 ला काय? हां.
विचारलं.
3 ला BSc.
I will be very happy if other questions are there on the way. आप लोग क्वेश्चन पूछें. हाँ, मैं कोशिश करूंगा. हाँ.
गोरेगावच्या सरांना कॉल करून प्रोजेक्टच्या विषयी हे करणार.
ते फक्त प्रोजेक्ट विषय दिलेत का?
हां त्यांना.
You can ask the question in the chat box also if anybody have not able to have that thing. और कुछ चीज भी डिस्कस करना चाहे, anything that you want to discuss also, not in a form of question, or you have any ideas, new ideas with regard to the things. आपके पास कुछ नया हो, विशेष हो, उसको भी आप बता सकते हैं, क्योंकि एक विशेष वर्ग यहाँ पर सामने है. We are one of the good groups of the society right now in front of all of you. If you have new ideas, innovations with regard to this, are most welcome.
आता प्रकार दिले तर यांनी इंटरनल कंटिन्युअस असेसमेंट. बाकीचे त्यांनी वर्कशॉप आणि कॉन्फरन्स सेमिनार 5 मार्काला दिले.
कॉन्फरन्स सेमिनार वगैरे
5 मार्काला दिले आणि पुन्हा खाली इंटरनलचं काय दिले माहिती आहे की सेमिनार, वर्कशॉप, केस स्टडी, फील्ड वर्क, सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स याच्यासाठी 10 मार्क. फील्ड वर्क म्हणजे त्यांनी काय केलं, 5-5 मार्क जे आहेत ना त्याचं डिव्हायडेशन केले 10 मार्कांनी.
हो तसं आहे. 4 पार्ट करायचे तुम्हाला.
3 पार्ट करायचे.
10 मार्काचं काय
टेस्ट 10 मार्काचे टेस्ट आणि 5 मार्काचं वर्कशॉप सेमिनारसाठी अटेंडन्स आहे.
और अगर कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है तो मैं 2-4 मिनट आपके साथ और मैं एक आध चीज डिस्कस कर देता हूँ.
केस स्टडी घ्यायची.
तरी एक देऊ.
बिल्कुल सर.
एक entrepreneur, I will be talking about an entrepreneur skill for 5 minutes. When we are going to discuss this, or when we are going to teach with regard to the entrepreneur skills, I tell you,
Yes, sir.
you have to give a lot of confidence to those persons, because it is all about the confidence. If the confidence is available in an entrepreneur, because risk-taking ability is not available in everyone, I tell you, and everyone is not capable of taking a risk in the society. Because so many people in our society, they are having so much good ideas, but they are not having that ability to take risk. And those abilities are vitiating us with regard to the good things that come to the society. the best thing that we need to teach is risk-taking appetite. Every time the risk-taking appetite is there with regard to that, which will sort out the problems for good products in our society. The best thing that we can do in our society with regard to that is that we have to improve the quality of risk-taking appetite under the new entrepreneurs that we are creating. So from a very first day, what we have to give a thought to them that you should be ready and willing to take the risk. If you are willing and ready to take the risk, then only you will be able to do something very good in the business field. Otherwise, without taking risk, without new innovations, you will never come up as a good entrepreneur in the society. Look for all new ages company which are right now coming in the society. All new age company are coming with new innovations, new ideas where they have spent a huge amount of money already. Ola, I can give you an example of an Ola. We have never thought about any company which will be able to establish in the all over India with regard to EV vehicles. They are the ones started battery vehicles for the first time. They are coming with scooters, they are coming with bikes, they are coming with new innovative bikes of 350cc and more than that. So these are the ideas, these are the basic research they have done. They have invested a huge amount of money and later on they are able to capitalize on that. So one thing that has to be there is that you always make your young entrepreneurs ready to face the risk and come out with the solution of that, and don't go back, because going back is not a solution. Rather than going forward with regard to a potential mind, with regard to reading of the society, with regard to reading the consumer behavior, and then only they will be able to melt that risk into profits. There cannot be a big profits until unless there is a big risk, and that big risk has to be analyzed with regard to a great brain which has an appetite of having a good risk-bearing attitude. So this is from my side to all of you, and I wish we are able to create a young, innovative entrepreneurs which are going to take our country ahead, which are going to make this India best with regard to that, because we are among the top economies right now. And you can witness that we have not go down to United States with regard to increasing of their tariffs, because they want our agriculture products at a 0% tariff. Agriculture economy is the backbone of India. Our country has not go down to them. And this is what the attitude of ourselves. This shows that we are a stronger nation now. We are a nation with our own potential. Now we don't need only one country in the world to support us. If they are not going to support us, we have an open market available outside the United States of America. This is what we have learned. This is our young India. This is what need to be discussed. This is what need to be mentored. And this is what need to be given to the young generations. So thank you from my side to all of you. And have a very great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So if no questions, then I should be leaving out. Shakir Saab is there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much to everyone.